Coach, I feel like my son's coach is too hard on them. What should I do? This is a good one. This is a fighter. This one makes everybody happy or everybody mad. It's funny to get into it, but here we go. If your coach, if you feel like your son's coach is actually being verbally abusive, or if he ever puts his hands on a kid, report him and pull your child out of that program immediately. However, if that coach is being a disciplinarian with tough love, zip the lips and let your child learn. That's how we do it. Kids need to be checked. That's how they learn. Our prison system in America is full of young men and women whose mamas and daddies thought that somebody was being mean and discipline was too rough. They didn't need to be disciplined. They need to be able to raise themselves. Kids cannot raise themselves. They can't do it. They need structure. They need standards. And a coach is one of the leading people in a child's life to set standards and boundaries of how that child should act, how they should deal with those emotions, how to bottle stuff up and how to let stuff out in other directions. That is what a coach should do. Short story, I used to coach a lot of high school football and baseball. Here now, I'm obviously working with my own kids, and we went town the other day that I used to coach high school and we were playing in a little league baseball and softball games, and ran into probably 15 kids that I coached. And I was hard on kids when I coached, but I also loved them. I was in their face when they did something wrong, and I was hugging their neck when they did something right, or when it was something outside of our sport that was going on that they needed some love, right? Because you got to play both. And every one of those kids that was at that complex ran up to me, shake my hand, give me a hug. Coach, check this out. They're all coaching their kids now. And they were pumped up to see me. Not one person turned away. One of them in particular, a kid I loved to death and had a rough time when he was in high school with some different situations. I would get in his face during practicing games. I would also hug his neck, and he knew I always had his back if it was something outside of school that he was dealing with. And he sends me a letter the other day on email that says, Coach, I graduated. I'm going into coaching. You made a huge impact on my life, and I was wondering if you would be a reference for me. The tough love, the discipline that I gave that kid did not turn him away. As a matter of fact, he knew that I always had his back because I made him do the right thing, but I also loved him. And now that he's a grown man with his own family, he came back to the same guy that disciplined him to ask for a reference to go do the same thing that made an impact on his life. Let your kids be disciplined. It benefits them. They need it. Hope that helps. Peace.